All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one. I can see why this one's tough. We got fractions in here. So depending, I'll show you how to do it without the calculator, but I'll also show you how to do it with the calculator. So you could have the calculator I've recommended for the course. Okay. All right. So for our midpoint formula, I'm going to write it down just to kind of ground me. And then remember, we label this x1, y1, and x2, y2. And we're just going to go ahead and substitute those in. So x1 is 0, x2 is -4/5, y1 is 1/2, and y2 is 0. Okay. And you can put it into your calculator just as is if you're like struggle with positives and negatives, but a positive times a negative equals a negative. So this is really going to be 0 minus 4/5. And a half plus 0 would just be, okay. And you could basically cross off the 0 there. So it's really -4/5 here. -4/5 over 2 and 1/2. 2. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do it using the calculator from the course. So the Casio that we recommended in the syllabus. Okay, and then let me pull up the exact thing that we're doing. So we want to know what -4/5 over 2 is. So I'm going to hit the fraction button. I'm going to hit the fraction button again. So -4, down arrow 5, down arrow 2. So that's going to be -2/5. And then if you cook a lot, then you know half of a half cup is a quarter cup, or a half cup divided by 2 is a quarter cup. But let's put that one in too. So fraction and hit fraction again. So 1, down arrow 2, 1 arrow. Okay. Now, for those of you who don't have the Casio, then let's go ahead and do that part by hand, especially for those of you who are going on in math. So wherever the big fraction bar is, the bigger one, you're going to write a divide sign. So this is -4/5 divided by 2. Well, we need to put a 1 under it. And it's always the second fraction that you flip. So instead of 2 over 1, 1 over 2. And then you're just going to multiply straight across. So we're going to get -4 times 1 is -4, and 5 times 2, which is 10. And then just make sure you reduce 4/10. So in other words, divide by 2 to both of those to get -2/5, which we had. Let's do it again because repetition is good for us, okay? So where the big fraction bar is, I'm going to write a divide. You got to make them both fractions. It's the second one that we flip. Multiply 1 times 1, which is 1. Multiply 2 times 2, which is 4. So there's our 1/4. So we're flipping the second one, and we don't actually divide when we multiply. All right, so -2/5, comma 1/4. Let's go put that in, make sure that that's good. Let's see here. -2/5. So check. Perfect. All right. So hopefully that helps. I see why that one was asked. That was definitely a tough one with those fractions. A fraction, right? All right, take care, you guys.